We all love comfort, the familiar routine, the easy path, the feeling of safety. But what if I told you that your comfort zone is silently holding you back? It's like a warm cage. It feels safe, but it keeps you small. Every time you avoid a challenge or say, "not today," you build the walls of that cage a little higher. The Stoics believed that comfort is the enemy of growth. They taught that true strength is built through discomfort, through facing what scares you, through walking the hard road when others give up. Because only when you're tested do you truly discover who you are. When you stay too long in your comfort zone, you stop learning, you stop growing, you stop living. Life begins to feel repetitive and dull because there's no challenge, no risk, no purpose. Remember, nothing great ever came from staying comfortable. Every strong mind, every great leader, every wise soul was shaped by discomfort. So, if you're tired of feeling stuck, maybe it's time to do the very thing you fear. Step into the unknown. Embrace the discomfort. That's where your true potential lives. If you're ready to break free from your comfort zone and live with strength, courage, and purpose, stay till the end of this video. Because today we're learning how to stop being a slave to comfort and start living like a true Stoic. 1. Comfort weakens the mind. At first, comfort feels peaceful. It's warm, familiar, and easy. You wake up at the same time, follow the same routine, avoid the things that scare you, and convince yourself that you're fine. But slowly, without even noticing, you begin to shrink. Your mind starts losing its edge. You stop questioning, you stop exploring, and you stop growing. Like a blade left unused, your inner strength begins to rust away. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Just like your muscles grow only when they're challenged, your mind becomes powerful only when it faces struggle. If you always take the easy way, you train yourself to give up at the first sign of discomfort. Every time you avoid something difficult, you teach your mind to retreat instead of rise. Comfort feels safe, but it secretly steals your strength one day at a time. Comfort has a way of trapping you without you realizing it. It whispers, "Stay where you are, it's fine here." It convinces you that effort is pain and that peace means doing nothing. But that's an illusion. Comfort is not peace, it's slow poison. It kills ambition, dulls your focus, and makes you accept a life that's smaller than what you deserve. When you choose comfort over challenge, you trade long-term growth for short-term ease. The Stoics understood this danger well. They didn't just talk about strength, they practiced it. They deliberately chose hardship. They exposed themselves to discomfort to toughen their minds. Cold weather, hunger, sleepless nights. Not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they wanted to remain free. Free from fear, free from weakness, free from dependence on comfort. They knew that true peace doesn't come from soft living, but from a strong mind that can stay calm in any situation. Think about it. Every great thing you've ever achieved came from stepping out of what's easy. Learning something new, speaking up when you were afraid, enduring pain to reach a goal. That's where your real self appeared. Each act of courage, no matter how small, builds a stronger version of you. Every time you face discomfort and keep going, your mind learns that it can survive, adapt, and overcome. That's how resilience is born. But when you stay too long in comfort, you stop evolving. You begin to crave the familiar, and anything uncertain starts to feel threatening. Slowly, the world outside your bubble looks scarier, and your potential feels unreachable. You may not notice it, but the longer you stay safe, the weaker your willpower becomes. The less you challenge yourself, the more fragile your spirit turns. So start small. Do one thing every day that challenges you. Wake up earlier than usual. Face that difficult conversation. Push through the task you've been avoiding. These small steps may seem ordinary, but they build extraordinary strength. Every uncomfortable moment you embrace adds a layer of mental armor. You'll begin to notice that the things that once scared you no longer have power over you. Comfort feels good now, but it will cost you later. Discomfort feels hard now, but it pays you back in strength, confidence, and peace. The Stoics knew that the easy road makes you soft, but the hard road makes you wise. So, stop feeding your comfort and start feeding your courage. Because the moment you step beyond what feels safe, that's the moment you truly begin to live. 2. Discomfort builds resilience. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher, one that life uses to prepare you for everything you desire. Every time you face something uncomfortable, you are being trained, shaped, and strengthened. But most people run from discomfort because they confuse it with suffering. They don't see that discomfort is actually the bridge between weakness and power. The Stoics knew this well. They didn't wait for life to be easy. They learned to stand strong when it was hard. Because the truth is, only through challenge do you develop true resilience. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." These are not just words. They are a reminder that your obstacles are not punishments, but invitations. Every problem, every failure, every moment of discomfort is a chance to grow tougher and wiser. When you face your struggles instead of running away, you transform pain into power. You start realizing that you are not fragile. You are capable of far more than you've ever imagined. Think about your own life. The moments that truly changed you weren't easy ones, were they? Maybe it was heartbreak, loss, rejection, or failure. At the time, it hurt deeply. But when you look back, you see that those moments built you. They forced you to grow, to adapt, to rise again with more clarity and inner strength. Discomfort stripped away your illusions and showed you what really matters: your will, your mindset, your perseverance. The Stoics trained themselves to welcome discomfort instead of avoiding it. They practiced voluntary hardship, sleeping on the floor, fasting, facing cold, walking long distances. Why? To remind themselves that they could live with less, endure more, and stay strong regardless of what life threw at them. They wanted to be unshakable, not controlled by pleasure or pain, not dependent on comfort, but fully in command of their own mind. You don't need to live like a monk to learn this. You just need to stop running from hard things. Every time you choose the uncomfortable path, whether it's saying no to distraction, speaking your truth, or facing fear, you grow a little stronger. Discomfort is like a weight at the gym. It feels heavy, it burns, but that's exactly what builds your muscle. Without that resistance, you remain weak. With it, you evolve. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who avoid discomfort. They're the ones who embrace it. They've learned that the pain of growth is far better than the pain of regret. They know that comfort creates softness, but discomfort creates depth. Every small challenge you face today prepares you for a greater one tomorrow. You build resilience one test at a time, one decision at a time, one uncomfortable moment at a time. When you live this way, something amazing happens. You stop fearing life. You stop seeing problems as threats. You begin to see them as opportunities to sharpen yourself. And that's the Stoic mindset. Not to wish for an easier life, but to become a stronger person. Because life will never stop testing you, but you can train yourself to meet every test with calm, courage, and clarity. So don't curse your discomfort. Thank it. It's making you tougher, wiser, and more unshakable with every step. The path to greatness is never soft. It's paved with moments of struggle, pain, and persistence. But on the other side of that discomfort lies something priceless: resilience. And once you have that, nothing and no one can ever break you again. 3. Growth requires action. Growth doesn't happen by wishing, planning, or waiting for the perfect moment. It happens only when you take action. Thinking about your dreams, imagining your potential, or reading about success will never make you stronger. True growth demands movement, a deliberate step into the unknown. The Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that virtue, strength, and mastery over life are earned through action, not comfort. Every time you hesitate, every time you tell yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," you let fear win. You reinforce the same patterns that have held you back for years. The mind is like a muscle. It only grows when it's used. If you want to become resilient, disciplined, and powerful, you must act, even when it's hard, even when you're unsure, even when your comfort screams at you to stop. Action doesn't have to be huge. Sometimes it's as simple as facing one small fear. Speak your truth even if it's uncomfortable. Wake up earlier than you want to. Take on a task you've been avoiding. Each act of courage may feel insignificant in the moment, but it compounds over time, building your confidence, strength, and inner power. The smallest step forward is still progress. The Stoics didn't just think about virtue, they lived it every day. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. They didn't wait for life to be kind. They acted, practiced, and challenged themselves constantly. And that's the lesson. Waiting for perfect conditions is an illusion. Life is never perfect, and your growth will never come if you wait. You must create it with your own hands. Action also teaches you more than theory ever could. You can read 1,000 books about courage, discipline, or resilience, but until you face discomfort, fail, stumble, and rise again, you won't truly understand your strength. Action reveals your limits and then allows you to break them. Every failure is a lesson, every challenge is a teacher, and every moment of discomfort becomes an opportunity for growth. The fear of taking action often paralyzes people more than the difficulty of the action itself. But the Stoics remind us that fear is just a feeling. It isn't reality. When you move forward despite fear, the fear begins to lose its power. You realize that discomfort is temporary, but growth is permanent. Each action you take becomes a building block for the person you are becoming. You don't need permission, guidance, or the perfect plan to start. Start with what you can, where you are, right now. Action is never wasted. Even if you fail, even if you stumble, even if it doesn't go as expected, you are growing, learning, and building momentum. Growth is a process, not a result, and action is the fuel that keeps it alive. Remember this: no one has ever achieved greatness by waiting. Dreams without action are illusions. Comfort without challenge is stagnation. If you want to become strong, wise, and free, you must step forward, take responsibility, and act. Because the world doesn't wait, and neither should your life. 4. The obstacle is the way. Life is never smooth. Problems appear without warning, challenges rise when you least expect them, and obstacles seem to block your path at every turn. Most people see these moments as setbacks, as unfair punishments from the world. But the Stoics taught us to see things differently. They said that obstacles aren't stopping you, they are the way forward. Every challenge you face is not a wall, but a bridge to growth, strength, and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That means the very thing you fear, resist, or want to avoid is exactly what will help you become stronger, smarter, and more capable. Life doesn't hand you comfort to teach you lessons. It hands you obstacles. And if you learn to embrace them instead of running away, you will find that every difficulty has a hidden gift, a chance to rise, to adapt, and to evolve. Obstacles are powerful teachers because they force you to look inside yourself. When the easy path is gone, when the familiar road ends, you are pushed to rely on your courage, your discipline, and your resilience. You discover strength you didn't know you had, patience you didn't know existed, and clarity you never expected. The Stoics trained themselves to see every problem as a lesson, every challenge as an opportunity to practice virtue, and every failure as a step toward mastery. The moment you stop resisting obstacles and start engaging with them, everything changes. The fear that once paralyzed you begins to fade. You start to see challenges as invitations rather than threats. you begin to realize that your life is not about avoiding difficulty, but about learning how to move through it with grace, focus, and courage. That is true freedom, not the absence of struggle, but the mastery of it. Obstacles also sharpen your character. Every time you face difficulty, you test your limits. Every time you push through, you expand them. Every time life tries to stop you and you refuse to quit, you prove to yourself that nothing can control you except your own mind. The Stoics didn't seek comfort or ease. They sought strength, and they found it in the challenges that life threw at them. So next time a problem appears, pause before frustration or fear takes over. Ask yourself, what is this obstacle trying to teach me? Shift your perspective, and suddenly what seemed like a wall becomes a stepping stone. What seemed like a burden becomes a lesson. And what seemed like the end of the road becomes the beginning of your growth. Life will always present obstacles, and you cannot control when or how they appear. But you can control your response. You can choose to shrink back, or you can rise forward. You can see them as barriers, or you can see them as gateways to a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. The choice is yours, and your future depends on it. Remember this: the obstacle is not your enemy. It is your path. Every challenge you face, every hardship you endure, every fear you confront, is shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. Embrace the obstacles, and you will discover that the way forward has been waiting for you all along. 5. True peace comes from growth, not comfort. Most people think peace comes from comfort. They chase easy lives, soft routines, and moments where nothing ever challenges them. But the Stoics knew a deeper truth. Real peace isn't found in softness or safety. It comes from growth, from mastering yourself, from stepping into discomfort and emerging stronger on the other side. Comfort is temporary, shallow, and fleeting. Growth is lasting, empowering, and unshakable. True peace doesn't mean a life without struggle. It means a mind that can remain calm even in struggle. It means a heart that can endure pain without breaking. A spirit that can stay steady when everything around you is chaotic. Every time you choose to face discomfort, to learn from obstacles, to take action in fear, you build this peace. It's not given to you. It's earned through courage, discipline, and resilience. Think about your own experiences. The moments when you were pushed, challenged, or scared. Those are the moments you grew the most. You discovered new strengths, untapped potential, and a deeper understanding of yourself. That growth created a kind of peace that comfort never could. It's a quiet confidence, an inner steadiness, a knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. That is the Stoic peace that comes from growth. The Stoics trained themselves to embrace hardship, knowing that it was the crucible of strength. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca didn't live lives of ease. They lived lives of learning, struggle, and self-mastery. And through that, they discovered the calm that others search for in fleeting pleasures. True peace, they understood, is not the absence of challenges, but the presence of mastery over yourself. When you stay in comfort, you're constantly at the mercy of the world. Your happiness depends on circumstances, other people, or luck. But when you grow, you become your own source of strength. You learn to control your reactions, your emotions, and your mind. You realize that no external situation can disturb the inner calm you've built through discipline and resilience. Growth is freedom, and freedom is peace. Every small challenge you face, every act of courage you take, every fear you overcome, these are the steps to building a life of true peace. It's not about avoiding difficulty, it's about embracing it. It's not about staying safe, it's about becoming strong. The more you grow, the less fear controls you, the less comfort deceives you, and the more you experience lasting calm. So stop chasing comfort. Stop looking for life without struggle. Stop seeking peace in the absence of effort. Real peace is born from struggle, earned through action, and fortified by every obstacle you face. The harder the challenge, the deeper the calm you achieve on the other side. Growth is not easy, but it is the only path to true inner peace. Remember this: comfort creates weakness. Growth creates strength. Weakness leaves you restless, fearful, and unfulfilled. Strength gives you calm, confidence, and freedom. If you want real peace, the kind that cannot be shaken by life, embrace the discomfort, pursue growth relentlessly, and master yourself. Only then will you know the lasting calm that the Stoics called peace. Conclusion. We've learned something powerful today. Comfort is not your friend. It feels safe, but it holds you back. Every moment you stay in your comfort zone is a moment your potential goes untapped. Life is not meant to be easy. It's meant to challenge you, shape you, and help you grow into the person you're capable of becoming. The Stoics taught us that real strength, resilience, and peace are built through discomfort. Every obstacle you face, every fear you confront, every action you take in the face of uncertainty is training for your mind and spirit. Growth doesn't happen in safety. It happens when you push yourself beyond what feels comfortable and familiar. So today, ask yourself, what is one step, one challenge, one fear I can face right now? Start small, start now. Every small act of courage builds momentum, and over time, that momentum transforms your life. The journey may be uncomfortable, but every step forward is a step toward freedom, strength, and peace. Remember, you have the power to break free from your comfort zone. Embrace the struggle, pursue growth relentlessly, and master yourself. If you commit to this path, nothing can hold you back. So take that first step today and begin living like a true Stoic.